Hello, my stamping friends. Kelly Acheson at stampabove.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. I have a super cute bundle to share with you called the Bubble Over Bundle. It's featured in the Occasions mini catalog on page 32. This is one of the best little sets I've seen in a long time for making masculine cards. I can't hardly wait to show you all the elements in here. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make this card. I like to start with my cardstock layers so you know what's going on there right away. And this is my baker's twine. So I've just got a long piece of baker's twine here. I've got Whisper White that is 4 by 5 1/4. This is for the inside of the card. A piece of Lemon Lime Twist that's 4 by 5 1/4. This is our card base, which is Bermuda Bay. It's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then I've got 2 pieces of the Bubble and Fizz Designer Series paper. Oh my gosh, I will show this to you when we get rolling here. This is one of the free selections you can get during celebration. We'll talk about that a little bit more also in case you missed it. I've just cut these 4 by 1/2 inch. And then we need a bunch of scraps. So this is a great card to use up your scraps. I've got several different patterns of the Bubble and Fizz Designer Series paper that we're going to use. I've got a scrap of our silver foil paper, Bermuda Bay, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, and Whisper White. So these are all scraps. Okay, let's get going here. This is the Bubble Over stamp set and the framelits called Bottles and Bubbles, I'm sorry. Fabulous set. You've got 17 different stamps here and all these little images kind of have something to do with the bottles of soda or beer. So that's where I think the man cards come in. We've got beer bottles, people. This is serious stuff. All right. In the set of framelits, Stampin' Up! Started doing something new, and I absolutely love it. You know how we're always running through multiples of some image in our framelits, and you have to crank each one through and then make another one and crank it through? Stampin' Up! Has 4 bottle tops here. 2 bigger ones for the bigger bottle and 2 smaller ones for the small bottle. This is awesome because now you can punch 4 at one time. It changes my whole die cutting world. The other thing that's really cool is the 2 straws. So now you can cut 2 straws at a time instead of having to cut one and then run through another one. So this is a really nice feature. I'm really glad that Stampin' Up! Is doing this. And they're also doing it in a couple of other framelit sets too. So when you buy these 2 together and they are a matching pair, you get 10% discount. So keep that in mind also. I'll put the individual item codes up on the screen and also the bundle code because there's one code when you buy both of them together to save that 10%. And now I want to show you this Bubble and Fizz Designer Series paper. This is so stinking cute. Look at those bottle tops. They are just fun. You've got images on one side and then kind of a random pattern on the other side. So you could use this for just about anything. It doesn't have to be used with this Bubble Over bundle. It's a really great pack of Designer Series paper. You get 2 sheets of each image. They're all double-sided, so you get a total of 12 sheets of Designer Series paper in a pack. You get an item from Celebration free with every $50 that you order. So if you order $100 worth, you can get 2 packs of this paper to go with your Bubble Over bundle, and you'll have it, you know, for a very long time. All right, I am going to be using the big bottle, and I'm going to be using just 1 of the bottle tops. And I'm going to use the smaller of the label that goes on the front of the card, or on the front of the bottle. And we'll just set these aside. I'm just going to fold my card base over and give it a good burnish here. Whoops. Don't lose those little framelits. Where is my magnetic sheet? Hang tight here. Whoops, there went a pile off my table. I just like to keep a oh look, somebody decided that it was fun to run this through the Big Shot. That isn't what it was for. Things like that happen sometimes, don't they? I like to keep a magnetic sheet close by if I'm using little dies, because this would be easy to stick to the bottom of something and then I lose it, right? So I'm just going to keep those right here. I am going to take my lemon lime twist layer and I'm going to run it through the Scattered Sequins Dynamic Embossing Folder. This is one of our super thick embossing folders that when you run it through the Big Shot, it is almost like creates a 3D effect. We have several of these dynamic folders, and I'm just going to run my layer through. I'm going to place it right here. Remember, when you run these through your Big Shot, you only want one cutting plate on top of them, and you want one of your tabs open. You don't want to use two cutting plates on here, just one on the top, because these are super, super thick. Okay, I'm going to run this through, and I'll be right back. And here we go. Can you see how cool that looks? It's really spectacular in person because they don't just look like little bumps, which is what you might be seeing in the camera. They look like little sequins all over the place, and they are super, super cute looking. Now I put all, you've got less sequins down here, more sequins up here. I just chose to put this as the top of my layer. I'm just gonna grab my piece of baker's twine here, and I'm gonna wrap this around 3 times. You would just leave yours attached to your roll of baker's twine and wrap it around. I don't know how long this is. I just kind of wrapped it and then cut it. I've got a card buffet coming up, and my baker's twine is packed away already. Now, when I'm gonna tie a bow using my baker's twine, well, let's get this. I'm gonna move this way over here, and then I'm gonna adjust it because I want these tails to kind of be a little more even. I always tie it in a knot first. See how I just moved it over like that? Perfect. And then I tie my bow, because now I don't have to worry about this coming loose while I'm doing my bow. That's not fun, is it? We want our stamping to be as stress-free and fun as possible, and that's one of the ways I've found to eliminate a little of the stress, because you don't have to worry about that coming loose and making you crazy. And then I hold my tail, or I hold my loops while I pull my tails. The reason why I do that is I don't like it when my baker's twine gets all twisted up, and that tends to happen when you don't hold those loops. So there we go. That looks like a pretty good bow, doesn't it? All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp on the inside layer of my card. I'm going to bring one of my piercing mats in. I like to use that one, especially when I'm using photopolymer stamps. And I've got my Bermuda Bay ink here, and the greeting that says, "May your day bubble over with happiness." So little play on words there with the bubble in your soda or beer. And then I've got these 2 strips of Designer Series paper that I cut at 1/2 inch just to decorate up the inside of my card. I want the lemon lime color to be on the outside here. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue. And glue this to the top and the bottom. I think this piece is a little thinner. I didn't cut very good here, but they're both supposed to be 1/2 inch, so just know that. You remember, did your mother ever say to you, "Do as I say, not as I do"? So here's a perfect example of that. And I'm just going to trim those off. I like to have them be just a little bit longer, because when they come up short, it's not good, right? Nobody likes that. We can always trim them off. And then I'm just going to put this right on the inside of my card right away, so I can have that completed. Okay, we're going to close this up and bring in our Calypso Coral. Calypso Coral and our scrap of Whisper White. So we can stamp our bottle of orange soda, or this could be an orange bottle with beer in it. Either one works. Got that inked up good. Gonna stamp that. That looks pretty cool. And then the other thing I need to stamp is my label that I'm going to put on my bottle of beer or soda. And I'm going to use Versamark ink for that. Oops, I forgot to use my embossing buddy. This little bag is a little chalk bag that will keep your embossing powder from sticking to places where it shouldn't. So you get a nice, clean, crisp image when you stamp with your ink and then pour embossing powder on it. And yes, I had somebody ask me last time I used it, do I sell that? Yes, I do. It's pretty inexpensive too. I think it's only like, I don't know, $4. I always like to blow on this a little bit, see what a nice image I have. I don't have any dust any place that's gonna look, you know, cruddy. There's your red deck, word of the day. Cruddy when I hit it with the heat tool. So let's get that embossed. Perfect. And that one is the one that's going to be cut out with this little kind of hexagon-y looking triangle-y thing. You like all of my little words I make up. Okay, and then we've got our little, whoops, bottle top. And this is going to go on the silver paper. And I'm going to cut out my bottle of beer with this framelit. I'll be right back. Let me clean up some of this mess first. How about that? I had somebody leave a comment one time that they really like that my desktop is pretty much clean and it's not so full of a mess when I'm doing my videos. Believe me, it's not that way when I'm not doing videos. Okay, now I'm going to go to my big shot and I'll be right back. Okay, and here are all our little elements. And I'm going to set that back on my magnet sheet. Okay, I've got some dimensionals here. And I am going to put some dimensionals on the back of my bottle of beer. I'll put one like right there and one right here. I think I want this one to be just a little bit lower because we've got that baker's twine in there. Then I'm going to adhere my little label to my bottle of beer. Isn't that cute? I love that white. I love the white embossing on here. I just think that was the perfect thing to do with this label. And then I've got my little bottle top. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on that edge there. And put that right on the top of my bottle. Let's get that lined up so it's not crooked, right? We don't want anybody to think that the bottle of beer is a defect bottle. Okay. Then we're adding this to our card. This was the first card that I made with this bundle, and I actually did it at my mom's house. So I took all of my new pre-order stuff up to my mom's when I went up to visit, when was that? Thanksgiving? Yeah, I think it was Thanksgiving deer hunting. And I had very limited supplies, but I was pretty impressed with this card that I came up with. Now we're going to do the punches that I'm going to put down the side here. And what I've got here is the 1 1/4 punch, the 1-inch circle punch, and then the 2 new scallops. These are tiny little scallops, 1 3/8 and 1 1/8. So my scallops are going to be for my backgrounds. And I did a small Bermuda Bay scallop, a large Bermuda Bay scallop, and then I did a large Calypso coral, and did I do the small? Yep, I did the small Bermuda Bay already. Okay. Oh, and then I need the yellow one, and that one was also smaller. So I'm using the small scallop punch for that. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Now I'm going to bring in all my designer series paper. This is the 1-inch punch, and I'm punching out this orange design and then the little beer bottles. And I'm just going to make sure that I get a few beer bottles in there at the top. And then I need 2 of the 1 1/4 inch. Gosh, if I could talk today, I'd be in good shape, wouldn't I? And 1 of these polka dots. This looks like fizzes, doesn't it? Like exploding or popping or whatever they do. And then we're just going to glue all these together. Like this and this. This one. Here comes our solid images. And I've got my bottle. Designer Series paper, and that's going to go on the little Bermuda Bay. And the big polka dots goes on the large Bermuda Bay. The large stripe circle goes on the Calypso Coral. And then I've got this orange little whirly gig design that goes on the yellow Daffodil Delight. All right, your two largest scallop circles are just going to go on your card. And then these two I'm going to mount on dimensionals. And of course, you know that I love dimension on my card, and this really does make a difference. It's pretty cool. There we go. Last but not least, I need to add some sequins. And on this card, I decided to use the Tutti Frutti adhesive backed sequins because I thought this would be really cute. So I am going to get, let's see, you get a whole bunch of them in here. It's pretty neat. I'm going to take some of the orange ones and add a couple of these. These are also new in the Occasions mini catalog, and they come in all these pretty colors. How about, I think I'm just going to do 3 of the orange ones. I used silver on my other card. I'm just going to do 3 orange ones here. Okay, we're ready to put our cute card together. Just so happens that it is my husband's birthday coming up here, and we go out to dinner every year with his buddies from high school. It's kind of cool. So I need 3 birthday cards because all their birthdays are in January, and I have to make some man cards, and I think that these beer cards are going to be just perfect. I wish I would have left that a little longer, but we'll just make our bow a little smaller so it'll look longer. We can fix anything, can't we? Okay, you guys, there we go. Super cute birthday card with a beer bottle. Gotta love it. Brand new Tutti Frutti sequins, our Bubble and Fizz Designer Series paper, and the Bubble Over bundle. Love it. I can see so much potential here. Make sure you click over here in the bottom corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to earn your business. I'd be happy to send you our newest catalogs. You just need to pop me an email, and don't forget to put your address in it, because a lot of people say, I would like a catalog. And I'm like, great, like, where would you like me to send it? So make sure you give me your address and tell me which catalogs you need. Do you need the big catalog, the Occasions catalog, the Celebration catalog? You can just say, I need all the catalogs, or you can just say, I need the mini catalogs, and I will be happy to mail those off to you. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch my video. I really do appreciate that. And don't forget, during Celebration, when you place a $50 order, you get to choose an item for free. For every 50 bucks, free item. It's the most wonderful time of the year for stampers. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.